Hey everybody, I'm Jimmy Rance. First, I'd like to say happy Valentine's Day to all of you ladies out there. I sincerely mean that. I also want to say that if you have a partner that is about as romantic as a spark plug in a chainsaw, I'd like to offer you a virtual hug from me to you. I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight. I hope it'll be nice and romantic and all that stuff. This is the first Valentine's Day that I've kind of spent by myself in a long, long time. And it's okay. It's okay. That's not what I want to talk about, but I did want to wish you ladies a happy Valentine's Day. Seriously. If you were my lady, we would be having steak and lobster or something tonight. I guarantee you that. Okay, what I want to talk about is this. And before I get into it, not a big deal. This is about RVing related stuff. And I'm not really talking to the RVer per se. I'm talking to those of you who make comments on different RV channel sites, on YouTube sites. We'll get to it in a minute. I want to say that I am not anti-RV at all. I've been an RVer most of my life, as I've said many times on here. I do. I enjoy that lifestyle. Now, as a full-time RVer, no, I do have experience doing that. But I'm mostly, I live in a house. I live in a home. And what I want to say is that I want to ask you basically a question, and I just want you to think about what I'm saying. I'm not knocking the RV lifestyle at all, but I do have some fair points that I want to bring up that I feel deserves some honest answers to my questions. Seriously. And this is where I want to go with this. After almost 2.5 minutes, we get to the point. That's just the way I do videos. I guess I like to just ramble on. A lot of you, and I want to understand what you mean by this. You'll say in the comments, you're living the dream. And I know a lot of you, I guarantee you probably see that too. You're living the dream. I guess my question to you is, could you explain what the dream is to me? What is exactly this dream? What does the full-time RVer have that we who live in our houses, what do we don't have? Now, I know you're going to come back and you're going to tell me, oh, you're free. I'd like to hear about how you're free. Yeah, you're real free, all right. You got to worry about that knock on the door most of the time whenever you're in an urban area, city area, and knock, knock, knock at 3 a.m. Yeah, that's a lot of freedom. At my house, I don't get a knock, knock, knock on the door. What is the dream? I mean, I'm really trying to compare apples and oranges here, and I know, again, I know it sounds like I'm degrading, demeaning, or whatever the RVer, and I'm really not. I get it, but I'm trying to find out what is in your head when you say you talk about this dream. You live in the dream. What the hell is the dream? I guess if you live in an RV and you probably most of you end up going out west because of the federal land. Number one, unless you stay at a place like Quartzsite at a specific time of the year, you pay your whatever, I don't know what it is anymore, $170, $180, and you get to stay out there for about 7 months. I doubt if you can do 7 months because that desert, it heats up like a furnace. That desert can kill you in a lot of different ways, believe me. The desert is not this nice, sweet, romantic spot. To me, it's not. I know a lot of people like the desert. Me personally, I don't. I live in Colorado. I live in a place where there's gorgeous kind of like alpine mountains and beautiful fir trees and evergreen trees and Colorado blue spruce trees. And it's always pretty much, not all the time, depends on where you live in Colorado. It's usually fairly cool. Now, if you live over on the western slope, it may be different, but where I live here around, I mean, right by the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's very pleasant, very nice, very beautiful. And whatever the temperature is in the daytime, at nighttime, it cools off just enough to where you can really tell the difference. And it's very, very comforting. I noticed whenever I lived on the Mississippi coast, it'd be so hot, and then throw humidity on it, it was almost unbearable. And then whenever it became in the evening, in the nighttime, it's still so warm, you can't get any relief. Well, here in Colorado, I can get some relief. So you live in the dream. Okay, I'm in Colorado. Like I just explained, all this beautiful stuff around me. Can be in the beautiful stuff in just a matter of minutes. Just go crank up my vehicle, I'm there. A few minutes, I'm there. I'm in all this beauty. Now, the RVer, on the other hand, when you're out west, I mean, you may be in New Mexico or Arizona, Utah, you know, some of those, Nevada, I don't know, wherever, in the southwest, west. You're out in the desert, most likely. Not really trees. Not really trees. Not really in the summertime, cool, nice, refreshing evenings. I don't think. Not really in the daytime. It's just like living in hell. It's so hot. But you're living a dream. And a lot of the RV folks, whenever they can stay somewhere on BLM, public lands, you can stay out there, 14, 16 days, and you have to move. Doesn't matter if you're 85 years old and you're sick, and maybe there's a monsoon approaching you or whatever. Maybe there's a big bad haboob, this big massive dust storm headed your way. You got to move. But you're living a dream. Now me, on the other hand, here at my house, I don't have to move every 14 days. And you're going to say, yeah, but you got to pay property tax. Well, yeah, I do. But my property tax is not a big deal. Again, I said in another video, I bet you pay more in repairs and fuel in 2 months than I do in property taxes all year. So I don't see the advantage. When you're out in the desert, I wonder what, and I don't know if everybody has Starlink. I don't really know that much about Starlink. I live in a very modern city, a city that I chose to be in. I like it. And I don't really like the state politics, but you can go just about any place and find bad politics. I'm not going to worry about that, I've lived here for going on 19 years. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I live in a nice house. I flip a switch, the lights come on. That's a big, just one. I have a couple refrigerators. I can put all kind of food in it. Out in the garage, that direction. I have a big old freezer downstairs. I have 2 or 3 little refrigerator freezers. The kind that you guys use when you go camping. I plug it up into my Blue Eddy if I want to get out. But a lot of you, living a dream. What in the hell is this dream? Oh, if you don't like your neighbors or whatever, or you don't like your view, you can just pick up and leave. Well, so can I. It's called mechanized transportation. I walk that direction and I go into my garage and I crank up my vehicle and I go anywhere I want to go. And whenever I get tired of it, I come back home. So when you're talking about you have to leave every 14 days, or you live in this sandy, rocky, no trees, arid, this fungus-filled desert that can literally make you sick. And a lot of you do get this valley fever, make you sick as hell, I mean, the rattlesnakes galore. You got the different kind of cactuses that will just tear your ass up. What is this, cholo cactus? Some of those cactuses would jump on you. Yeah, that's the dream, man. Can't wait to do that. But I really would like for all of you guys who say, you're living a dream. Really? If you call that living a dream, then I'm in heaven. Then this is heaven. I mean, I can take unlimited hot showers. I can wash my clothes just, every day if I want to. If I want to take a shower, I can. If I want to soak in my tub, I can do that. With all the water that I want. If I want food delivery, I don't feel like going grocery shopping. I don't feel good today. Let me call a grocery store and let me order some canned foods and some milk and bread, just regular stuff that I eat and like. I mean, within an hour, it's here at my house. Well, I think tonight I want to have a steak. So I'll call up, I'll go to Grubhub or one of those places and I'll order online, and within 30, 45 minutes, I got wonderful meal right here. But if you're stuck out in Quartzsite or you're out way out on BLM land, who's going to deliver to you? What if you have a medical emergency? Now, if I have a medical emergency, I'm 2 miles from the hospital. How far are you from the hospital? But you're living the dream. I just would like for you to explain it to me, guys. That's all. I can get into my vehicle and I can go anywhere that these RVers go. If I don't like my house or my neighbors or whatever, I can put it up for sale and I can move. You have to move every 14 days. I don't. Again, if you're living the dream, then I'm living nirvana. I'm in heaven, man, compared to that. I do enjoy the lifestyle. I even have a channel that I created a long time ago. I'm not active on it. And it's called Anytime RVers. Meaning anytime that I want to go RVing, I can go RVing. And whenever I get kind of tired of the RV lifestyle, I come home. I come home to my nirvana, I feel safe in my neighborhood. I feel safe in my home. If I didn't feel safe in my home, believe me, I have, let's just say, some proper tools to deal with any situation that may come up. Well, anyway, guys, explain that to me about the dream. You're living the dream. To me, it's like a nightmare almost. What's a dream to you seems like a nightmare. You got to go and empty those black tanks, You got to dispose of that crap. You have to. You can't just turn on water and have unlimited water. You have to either haul your water in or you have to drive your RV or get your jugs or whatever, your barrels or however you do it. You got to go get water and then you got to haul it back. What a pain in the butt, especially if you are a senior citizen. We start getting older and we can't do those things that you young people can do in your late 20s and 30s, 40s. Yeah, that's a piece of cake for you, but get up around my age, it makes it a little bit difficult. So again, what is this? You're living the dream. What you say is a dream, to me, is a nightmare. That's just the way I see it, guys. And no, I'm not Blind Views. I'm Jimmy Rance.